Good evening, and welcome back to Conversations in Black. No, seriously, this segment of our little videos is in regards to J Love 47's Black Men Are Weak and White Men Are Powerful. And we're going to start with Dwayne.
There's many points, with some points that J Love 47 brought out in his video that we agree with, and some that we disagree, and actually some that we disagree within each other. And I guess right now I'm just going to start off with the first topic, just briefly touch on when he brought up the issue of representation of masculinity in regards to black men versus white men in that regard. How J Love 47 brought out how black men, our masculinity is defined by our physical prowess, our strength, our body in essence, our genitalia, and how white men, their masculinity is not defined in the body but in the mind, and their ability to outsmart, outthink, deceive, really, to be cunning, versus to outsmart the black man, the other man, or their opponent in general. So basically, the white men, their masculinity is in the mind, and black men in the body. And actually, that concept is not novel. Actually, it was actually affirmed in Eldridge Cleaver's Solo Nice book, which I do agree with that concept, J Love 47, personally, to a great extent. However, just one thing that also, even in the book, Solo Nice brings out that was not in your video, that you failed to expound on, is the fact that the white man realized, well, first of all, the white man wished, for one thing, that they had the physical prowess of the black man. There's a certain level of jealousy that white men have for decades with the strength and the body of the black man, and how white women and other women's races, they look onto the black man as having that ability. And to some extent, the black man looks to the white man with their ability to a great extent outsmart or deceive, however you want to put it, the black man and every other man. But one thing that Eldridge Cleaver brought out is that the white man and his level of, I guess, the white supremacy and the world, and let's say specifically this country, is built for and by white men, how they continually oppress the black man so as the black man to never ever achieve, or to be very difficult, put it like that, to achieve that union between the black man's body and his mind, for those two concepts never to merge. Because if it were to merge, which it has with black men, which it has, in history has proven that, but when those two concepts emerge, you have a powerful, dangerous man, black man, when you combine the body of a black man with his mind. And that's, white men for decades, and even to this day, they've made extremely difficult, not impossible, but extremely difficult for a black man to I guess, reconnect, so to speak, with his mind, either through socio-economic means, political means, for that merge to never to happen. Because the white man does realize that when those two elements are together, then it makes a powerful man, and obviously a powerful black man at that.
And one thing that I think, when we do have this discussion, I'm obviously not a black man. Nevertheless, I do identify with the struggles of the African American race as your partner, the black woman. One thing that I do think has to be understood is the concept of black physical strength surpassing white physical strength, while the white mind surpasses the black intellectual being, is definitely deeply rooted in American history from the time of slavery all the way up till now. I mean, black people as a whole have been the physical force of this country, where white men have, as a result of their oppression, on black people, where white men have been the brains of the country thus far, and not in every element. You know, as we talked about in other videos, and even as J Love touched on, you know, there are several contributions, even as far as Black people being the driving force behind the civil rights movement, which not only affected the liberties of Black people, but provided liberties for the Asians over on the West Coast and various other diverse groups that came to the Americas. But the concept of Black physicality being more powerful than that of whites extends also to the sexuality of the African American woman, where our physicality, our sexuality surpasses that of white women. You know, hence the reason that they do look at us in primarily a sexual light, hence the reason that we are perceived, you know, primarily as these animalistic sexual beings. So I do think that a lot of credit has to be given to, not credit in a good sense either, but a lot of credit has to be given to the fact that all of this is rooted in slavery, and this is a conditioned mindset that has manifested over time as a result of slavery. One thing that I wanted to say in regards to this video is that, and this is something that we had a slight disagreement on, not really a big one though, which is the fact that I feel like you guys, Black men particularly, are not competing with the white man intellectually. This is not a matter of them being smarter than you. This is not a matter of them having more capacity to think than you. This is a battle of, you know, of manifested evil. For, you know, not even for lack of better terms, it is what it is in my opinion. It's a manifested evil, a level of deception, a level of manipulation that you guys are competing with. You are defying your humanity and your basic regard, your overall regard for humanity, your overall compassion for humanity in order to compete with a group of people who have historically been inhumane to everybody across the globe. You are competing with a certain level of evil that even manipulates you to think that this is a matter of smarts, or this is a matter of who thinks more and who thinks less. So that's just my take on it. It's not much that I can say, seeing that I'm not a man, so you know, only you guys really know your struggle. We just try to identify it, but we do know it from the end of Black women. And personally, I feel like when you're fighting against a force that is beyond humanity, which is their level of deception, that divide and conquer mentality that manifested evil from centuries and centuries, that is even taking place now. When you're battling against that, like, to me, your fight is futile. And that's the point where you need to return home. And your focus needs not to be on competition with white men, but your focus needs to be on maintaining, sustaining, and building your personal community, starting with your home.
And I agree with actually a lot of points that my colleague brought up.
Your colleague.